Mayor Pete is really experiencing the benefit of corporate propaganda that is essentially free PR. They're not even paying for these puff pieces they're getting. And honestly, in a normal, healthy democracy, Mayor Pete probably would have had to drop out after a month because he would get no traction. He's not qualified to be president. I don't even think he's qualified to be governor of Indiana. He's done nothing as South Bend, Indiana mayor, but journalists don't want to point that out. And now, after a debate performance where he wasn't asked one challenging question, the media just propped him up like they've been doing. We remember, what was it, Vanity Fair who did the puff piece on Beto O'Rourke when he launched his campaign? I was born to do this with their little advertisement for Beto. Now we have, the New York Times doing puff pieces with Mayor Pete. The Indiana mayor talks about his lifelong political ambitions were complicated by the secret he kept for decades. I don't want to be insensitive, folks. I don't want to make it seem like it's, just nothing that Pete Buttigieg is the first serious gay candidate for president. I think that's a great thing. But don't you find it odd that essentially this is the only thing the media seems to focus on with Pete Buttigieg? The fact that he's gay? The fact that, it was a brave thing for him to come out as gay? If this is the main thing that all of these puff pieces about Pete Buttigieg are based on, it's getting to a point now where you're just doing public relations. Yes, he's gay. Yes, brave that he's a gay man. He experiences hate. Sure. Is that a qualification or a calling card to be president? Is that the only thing these outlets should be focusing on? I mean, the New York Times is writing puff pieces for him. The Associated Press is writing puff pieces. A serious-minded candidate. A serious-minded kid. Pete Buttigieg aimed high early. Oh, what a cute little photo the campaign sent them. Oh my God. Gorgeous. It was a running joke in his AP U.S. history class. The smartest kid in the class, language whiz and devotee of John F. Kennedy, used his usual last name in his eventual run for president of the United States, or would he have a better shot of winning with voters of the future if he went by Montgomery, his middle name? Oh my Lord. This is why the Associated Press has won so many Pulitzer Prizes. I mean, and by the way, just so you know, if John F. Kennedy was his role model, John F. Kennedy called for universal health care before he was killed. If anyone cares about facts, JFK called for universal health care. But, we don't need to get into the details or anything. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. The sheer propaganda going on for Pete Buttigieg. And it's all part of the same exact nexus that I've been reporting on today. From MSNBC relitigating Russiagate, to Chris Matthews, Bernie, be careful calling the country corrupt, to, shockingly, progressive outlets kind of like trying to throw Elizabeth Warren some cred as a movement politician that facts don't back up. There's zero questions, by the way, to Pete Buttigieg on the fact that he was I believe I'm pronouncing it right, McKinsey Candidate, a McKinsey consultant for years. Pete says he cannot talk about it because of his non-disclosure, but he wants to talk about it. He just can't talk about it. His time as a McKinsey consultant. And this is why I got, frankly, a little ticked off at you, Bernie. I got pissed off at Bernie the other night. Some people didn't like my thoughts, but Bernie let Mayor Pee Wee Herman there just say whatever he wanted. Didn't go after him on his ridiculous Medicare for All Who Want It plan, which is not a thing. You can't have Medicare for all who want it if you also have duplicative coverage. Bernie didn't go after Buttigieg. Bernie didn't go after Biden. Bernie barely said anything to Warren. Yes, he's rising in the polls, but Bernie needs to start picking off some Biden voters, moving them over to Bernie voters. Bernie needs to start picking off some Warren voters, moving them over to Bernie voters. I don't know if he's going to pick off Buttigieg voters, but he definitely needs to knock Mayor Pete down a notch, because Mayor Pete is essentially running under Obamaism. Throw out some grandiose, hoity-toity language. My generation, oh, this is how these people in Washington talk. You are of Washington. You don't need to physically be a member of Washington. You don't have to live there to just be another tall glass of nothing. He basically is in the political witness protection program. He's not being challenged at all during these debates. By the moderators, he's not being challenged. By the candidates, he's not being challenged. Kamala Harris had a great opening to challenge him and chose not to, frankly, because she has some of the same donors as Pete, and she knew if she would have punched him in the nose, her donors wouldn't like it. That's why she didn't go after him. And the media won't say that because they don't want to speak the truth. He's not getting challenged by the moderators. He's not getting challenged by the candidates. Puff pieces in the Associated Press about, oh my God, his biggest concern as a child was whether he's going to run for president as Buttigieg or his middle name Montgomery. Oh my God, those tough decisions one has to make as a child. Which last name to use when you run for president? Meanwhile, Status Coup has been doing the reporting the corporate media refuses to do on the fact that Mayor Pete, who wants to run the military, wants to run a country of 330 million people, has not ensured daytime shelter for the homeless in South Bend, Indiana, as winter is basically here. It is winter conditions in South Bend, Indiana already. If you live in the Midwest, you know what I'm talking about. Daytime shelter for the homeless, not a thing. The library that was shelter for the homeless in South Bend, Indiana is under construction. The homeless are left without shelter. Nobody wants to cover that. Oh, what he actually did as a mayor? Don't bore me with that stuff, Status Coup. His horrible relationship and tensions with African Americans in South Bend, Indiana. Oh, don't bore me with that. The fact that his campaign, to try and come up with a reason to justify or rationalize the fact that he is at 0% among black voters nationwide. 0%. They're saying he's at 0% because older black people don't like that he's a homosexual. I'm not going to hetero-splain. There's mansplaining and there's white-splaining. I'm not going to hetero-splain. But, yeah, of course. I mean, black people, there's black people that are homophobic. There's white people that are homophobic. There are. But I don't think the fact that he's gay is why he's at 0% among black people. I think, for starters, who the knows who Pete Buttigieg is in South Carolina? I could tell you in 2016, they didn't know. They didn't know who Bernie was down in South Carolina. So they're trying to push this stuff out to basically rationalize and make it less embarrassing that he's at 0%. This man is a complete empty vessel. I don't care if he's gay. I don't care if he's straight. I don't care if he doesn't know what he is. On politics, he is neoliberal. On politics, he's worse than neoliberal. He is whatever the hell he has to be to get elected. 2010, let me go speak to the Tea Party. Now, I'm the representative of the new generation. You talk to people in South Bend, Indiana. This man has been an absentee mayor basically since 2016/2017, when he began trying to get out of being mayor of South Bend, because remember, he ran for DNC chair in 2017. People said, I haven't seen him in South Bend in weeks. He pretends during the debate when Tulsi Gabbard goes after him, I never said I would send troops to Mexico. All you have to do is Google it. He absolutely did say that.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.